Hi guys, it's me, Dottie. Hey, what's up? So this is Dottie's Daisies. Well, I wanted to come on and do a quick update video and tell you where I've been and what's been going on with me in my life, okay? Now, if you don't want to hear about mental health, if you don't want to hear about family stuff, a lot of sad stuff. If you don't want to hear all that stuff, I'll be fine. Just, you don't have to watch these videos. This video. Come back and watch the other one though, okay? So anyways, I've got Miss Maggie still. But still, y'all want to, So, first off, let me get to why I have Maggie still. Okay. I'm not going to cry. It's been a little over a month, and our Dolly sis, my best friend, got called home to be with Jesus, and she went peaceful. She was with her family. That's what her mom told me. And then her mom just told me to go ahead and keep Maggie. Now, Karen's other dolls, I have no idea. Her mom's didn't want to deal with any of that right now. She may not even ever want to get rid of her dolls. I have no idea. I did ask her about a few things that Karen had told me I could have, because me and Karen did have this talk, and there are a few things that Karen did say I could have, but I'm waiting. I'm waiting till I didn't like drill it in. I was just we were just talking, and I told her that I'd help her the best way I could with some of the baby things. Like, we could do video chat, and I could help her what she could do with it, because I mean, heck, she could just donate it to the Christian Center. That might be even better for her. I don't know. But I know that Karen did have some stuff there that she was going to send to people. And I knew that some of the stuff was for who, those people were. And if she needed help, she could just message me, and we would, I could help her with that and help her, get a hold of those people so she could have their address, get their addresses. So anyways, but Karen did go to, all right, don't start. I'm not gonna cry. All right. So I have Maggie. So anyways, for the past two and a half years, I've been struggling with a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff has happened in the last 2 years. First of all, I had got COVID back in 21. Or no, I got it back in 2020. Then I got it again in 2021. And I never recovered. I don't think I really recovered from it, or I did, but it did a lot of damage, and I didn't realize how much damage it did. But, like, now I have congestive heart failure. Apparently I've always had AFib, which I didn't know because it never bothered me. I have lung problems, and my lungs are scarred. I have I get upper respiratory infections really bad, because it messed with all this part of me. Well, I got kind of depressed about that, because when somebody says, oh, you got congestive heart failure, well, the first thing that came to my mind was, I'm fixing to die, okay? And if you know me, I have a fear of dying. And it's legit. I mean, it's to the point where sometimes it's crippling, where I can't handle it, and I'll start crying, and I start having panic attacks, and the panic attacks get overwhelming, and it feels like I'm gonna die. And there's been several times that if it was not for my husband calming me down, I don't think it would have been good. I got that upset. So, now, then we had a lot of deaths in our family. And one of the biggest ones for me, besides my granny and Karen, was my brother. Because when I first found out that my brother had passed away, I was told that he had took his life. And that was very, very hard, because I began to blame myself. And I blamed myself for months. And I don't care if my mom told me that that's not what happened. It was like all the dots and arrows or whatever was pointing to that's what he did. And when I was told by 2 or 3 different people that that's what he did, I just thought, well, mom's in denial, okay? And I became angry. I blamed myself because I felt like I wasn't a good enough sister. I felt like the last time he was here, because I was so depressed at that moment, I was just trying to rush him and my niece out of the house and my mom and dad to go home, because I didn't want anybody in my bubble. And when you're depressed and you don't go anywhere anymore and you don't do anything anymore, this becomes your life. Sorry, my glasses just, yeah. This becomes your life. You get depressed. It cripples you. I wouldn't go anywhere for months. I've missed 2 or 3 dolly meetups. This is a doll group I started. And I started it because I wanted to make like local and friends within the southern region. And the last 3, I couldn't make it because I could not make it out of my house because I was so freaking depressed. And I make up excuses why I can't go. And then it got where the excuses got to where it was so easy to make them. It got to where it was so easy making it where I'm not going to go to church this weekend. I'm not going to do this weekend. To where I was staying home for months and months and months and months. And then when I had to leave it, I had to go to the doctor. There was no way of getting out of it. So then this became my prison, not my bubble anymore. And I already have a fear of dying. So everything makes me feel like I'm going to die. If I do something, I'm going to die. And I don't want to die right now, because I always tell myself, what is my purpose? What was my purpose to be here? What was my purpose? Did God put me here to end up not being able to take care of my home, not take care of my family anymore, to being this way? And I was like, no, it can't be. So what is my purpose? Why would God do this to me? So I started blaming God for stuff. I started blaming God for my brother. I started blaming God for everything that was going on in my life. And then in the same breath, I would be like, no, it's not God's fault. It's not God's fault. It's not God's fault. It's the enemy. The enemy's the one talking to me. He's the one putting this in my head. It's not God. So then it got to be that way. And my fear took over still. And then anxiety was out of the whack. I was having panic attacks. I was having panic attacks for dying. Literally, yeah. So all this was going on. And then Karen got put in the hospital a year ago. June met a year ago. Yeah. And Karen passed away a little over a month ago. And it's been hard. It's been really hard. She was the best friend I've ever had. Best friend I ever had. So with all these things going on in my life, I had a mental breakdown. I just did. And the reason I say it was a mental breakdown, when I got to my lowest point is when I'm sitting in my room and I'm contemplating on meeting my maker or staying. And my husband realized that I was at my lowest point, and he stayed with me. And he was like, we've got to get you help. We've got to. So we got on the ball because it was serious then. Even though I have brought up the fact several times that I've had the urges to do those things, this one particular night, I just sat there and that's all I could think of. If I just do this, I won't be here for everybody. I won't be a burden on anybody. I won't be a burden on my husband. I won't be a nuisance on my children. And that's how I look at myself, as a burden, a nuisance. I looked at myself as not worthy of anything. And I know this is really raw, and this is not doll related, and I'm sorry. But I have to get this out. I have to say this. I was at my lowest point as a person can get before they make that step. And I was crying out because I really didn't want to. I was crying out, and I wasn't being heard for a while. And finally, when I made that last cry, I was heard. I was heard by my best friend, my husband, this person that loves me unconditionally. He heard me, and he got me help. I started going to see a therapist. Monday, I'm going to see a psychiatrist for them to help me get on some medication, because I used to be on medication. And with all the pain and stuff that was going on with me and my heart problems, my doctor was trying to regulate my medicine where it correlated with my heart medicine and pain medicine and all that stuff. So he took me off of my depression medication and then put me on this one medication that was supposed to be like the depression medication, but also have pain medicine in it to help me. Well, it wasn't. It was like I went cold turkey. And for the last two and a half years, I haven't had any medication. Like seriously, when you're somebody that has been on something for your anxiety and depression for years, and then all of a sudden you're taken off of this medication and they put you on something and you think that's what's going on, but you don't realize. I didn't realize that was what was going on with me. I really thought I had lost my marbles. I thought there was something wrong with me. I was like, there's something wrong with somebody that sits and cries. Y'all, I cried when I opened my eyes, and I cried when I closed my eyes. I would sit here for hours in the day and cry and cry and cry and cry. And I slept all the time. And I made excuses why I couldn't talk on the phone. I made excuses why I couldn't do things because I didn't want to tell somebody, I don't want to talk to you today. I don't feel like talking. I'm down. Because then that lets somebody in on my little secret, my bubble. And I just didn't want a lot of people in on my bubble. I didn't want a lot of people to know that I was struggling that bad with mental issues. And I wasn't about to let everybody know. Even my family didn't know. Because, you know, when they would come over here, but they knew. They knew. Because they would see me. And when you haven't brushed your hair in like 4 or 5 days, you're still in the same outfit you've been wearing for a week. Your house is a messed up array. You start crying when they all talk, and you have to say to everybody how sorry you are. And then I've, you know, all this going on. Now, I want to go back to my brother and tell y'all he didn't. He didn't take his life. It was a freak accident. A freak accident. And that freak accident took his life. So, anywho. So, all this has been going on with me. And I've been dealing with it. I thought I was dealing with it, but I wasn't. It's okay. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to look at somebody and say, you know what? I do have depression issues. I do have anxiety. I do have panic attacks. I do have these things. I do have PTSD. I have, I just have so many things. And I'm sad. I was just sad. So, if you stay around with me, I'm going to get myself back to where I want to get. It's going to be slow, but I'm going to get there. And I'm going to fix my nursery up. And I'm going to have my babies out. And I'm started painting babies. Actually, I got a baby right here on my table beside me that I'm painting for somebody that I should have painted a long time ago. She dropped the baby off in November, and she said, get to it when you get to it. And I actually forgot about it. And then a couple weeks ago, I was like, well, I found it in the closet. I'm like, let's go. I got to get it done. So I'm going to get it done for her. And then somehow or another, get started on all those other babies I have in there. So I hope I have not run you off from my channel. I hope you do not look at me and think, oh my gosh, there's something wrong with her. I mean, there is, but I want to get back to my quirky, funny self. I want to get back to my lighthearted self, joking self, because that's who I am. This right here is not who I am. This is what I don't ever want to be again. I don't ever want to have these problems again. And I know there's going to be times I fall. Everybody falls. But I need to learn how to get back up. So, we're going to see how it goes with all the medications and stuff. And we're going to see how it goes with going to see a therapist and talking to a therapist. And dealing with things that I haven't dealt with. I just put it aside. Saying, it's okay. It's no big deal. It's okay. It's no big deal. No, it's not okay. It is a big deal. It is a big deal. So, sorry, my wedding rings are... Anyways, you guys have a blessed Friday. And I'm late on this. Happy 4th of July. And I'll be back in just a minute. I want to do a video about Miss Maggie, and I want y'all's opinion about it. So, you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening. Bye.